It's time for another Dice Tower review with Zee Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at Uluru here, which is a puzzle-style game. Also has been published under the name Pelican Cove, so you might have seen it under that title. But this one is from the same designer as a game I recently reviewed, Jalapa, which is also a puzzle-style sort of real-time game in which you are trying to follow certain rules given by the game under time pressure and seeing if you can do that better than the other players. The concept is straightforward, but it can be a very challenging game, very thinky game. Let me show you how this works, then we'll come back and I'll tell you what I think of it. So to set up the game, we're going to put out the board. You are going to give every player their own player board, give them a set of these birds, little cute plastic birds here. Set out the timer here, and then select at what level difficulty you want to play, which is what the numbers on the back of the cards signify. So for now, I'm going to play with 3s, 2s, and 1s, 1s being the simplest, and I'm going to get rid of the 4s and the 5s for right now. We'll just set those aside. And so therein, you can select how difficult you want the game to be. Also, the board is double-sided. This is the normal side, and on the other side, there's 2 rows for handicapping. You can make a top row easier and a bottom row harder for groups with mixed skill levels, so you can handicap the game that way as well. And so that's it. And then you are going to play several rounds, and at the end of those rounds, whoever has the best score is the winner, okay? What are you trying to do? Well, you are trying to position the birds here on your board in specific ways according to rules given by these cards so that you don't score penalty points, which you want to avoid. The fewest of those you have, the better you're going to do. So you're going to shuffle up these cards, and then you're going to lay them out under each of these colors. Each of these colors would represent the color pelican there that you are going to be attempting to position on the board. So I'm going to just finish laying all these out, and then I'll tell you what all of these do. In this case, since we're playing with just levels 1s, 2s, and 3s, it's going to be, the cards are a little bit easier. And so, for example, this card here, this one, and this one just means that those colors want to be positioned in that place on your player board. Everyone has one of these, by the way. This one just means that bird wants to be on the board. It does not matter where you put that one. This one means it wants to be next to green. This one wants to be across from blue. This one wants to be kitty corner, basically, to yellow, kitty corner to orange. All right? So those are the rules. And then as soon as you've laid those out, you're going to flip over the timer, and everyone's going to simultaneously begin. Alright, so here I go. Boom, there we go. Okay, so I got that much time, so I got white just wants to be over here somewhere, and this one wants to be next to green, so I'll put them there. This is orange, wants to be over here, so I'll put it there. This one wants to be across from blue, red across from blue, so I'll put blue over here, I'll put red over here, that's okay. This one wants to share a corner with yellow. So green, yellow means yellow. I want to put it there. They share a corner. Blue wants to share a corner with orange. They do. And this is black wants to be in one of those places. So something's got to change here. Oh, boy. So I think I can move this one here because red wants to be across from blue. No. Time's up anyway. All right, so I don't know how long ago it ran out, actually. But anyway, let's say that's what I did, okay? And everyone, when the time runs out, is done, and then you check if you fulfilled all of the requirements for each of the birds. But anyway, that gives you an idea of how that works. So I think I've got them all. This one is here. Next to, yes. Just on the board, yes. This is orange is right here, yes. Across from blue, yes. Sharing a corner with green, yes. Sharing a corner with orange, yes, and this one's not on the board, so for that, I would take a penalty, which is just one of these glass beads. All right? So I got that. That's it. We would wipe this clean. We would wipe these away, set out 8 new ones, and you play again. You can play a longer game if you want to use up all the cards. Otherwise, you play the predetermined number of rounds. At the end of all of those rounds, you would then see who took the fewest of these, which would imply the highest score, and that player is the winner of the game. That's it. And so these cards, as you can see, are just variations of the same different, the same concepts there in different combinations. And then you can mix in the 4s, which are a little bit tougher, and then the 5s, which are a little bit tougher still. And these, the meaning of these is in a little cheat sheet over here that I've got. And so we've got here, this one, for example, says that the bird wants the same thing as the particular color bird defined. And so if I give this card to pink, it wants the same thing as whatever is played under yellow. And this one over here says that it wants the exact opposite of whatever. And so again, if I do this, it wants the exact opposite of whatever black got in this case. They get trickier, obviously. And so again, you got to decide what level you want to play it at. That should give you an idea of how this works. Let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think. These puzzle-style games can certainly be an acquired taste. You're not going to be in the mood to play this style of game all the time. And even in my review of Jalapa, the other game from the same designer, I said that I thought that game was just okay. It lacked simplicity, it lacked elegance ultimately, and which is why I felt it wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. This game, on the other hand, I think is fantastic. It has everything I want in this style of game. It's got the clarity of intent that I'm looking for in a puzzle game. It's not about tripping you up with colors or, tripping you up because you missed something that to someone else might be visually apparent. It's about the puzzle. And in this game, that's front and center, and that's why I like this one so much. The idea of being able to customize the difficulty is very clean, very well implemented. The feel of the game is fast, it's got a great cadence to it, and so the whole thing, whenever I feel like playing a puzzle game, this is first and foremost in my mind. Uluru is just a fantastic design. The clarity of design here, the elegance in this game is really through the roof. It's very well done. And so I would very much recommend it if you are looking for this concept in a game, which, as I said, I know is not something you're going to probably want to play every day, but when you do feel like engaging in this kind of competition, very few games, if any, are going to compare to Uluru. So I'm going to give this one a seal of excellence. Really amazing game. So robust, the puzzles in here. Definitely check it out. That is Uluru.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.